What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out this turtle tank fell into a Ukrainian trap. This is by Spartan. We've seen a few videos from Spartan now, and their channel's really, really good. There's a handful of channels now that I'm really starting to appreciate the effort they're putting in and just getting clean footage from the war because, again, like I've said over the past week or so, covering Ukraine more than anything else, is that this information needs to be out there for the general public as much as possible. So, with that being said, I will leave a link down below to Spartan's YouTube channel. Make sure you go over there, give it a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I am still a little bit sick. I think I've got like a bit of a chest thing going on. Like I'm a bit like, I don't think it's like the dreaded Rona, but I think it's some sort of chest infection or something. Anyway, check out Chug, 10% off, link down below. Selling like hotcakes. These things are amazing. Keeping your beverage cold during this heat wave here in the UK. Get one now. Support small businesses. 10% off. It's amazing. Free customization, free bag. This is the bag, by the way. I tell everyone about the bag. This is the bag you get with it. So you can take it camping and protect it. And then the customization with an initial. That's my initial, L for Luke. If you didn't know, my actual name is not Original Human. It's Luke. Also, check out Morale if you want yourself a healthy energy drink. All right. And also links down below to a bunch of other stuff, including a charity walk I'm doing in Scotland. Go support that. There's been a bunch of people that have donated. I really, really appreciate you. We're trying to raise money to send it to Macmillan, which is a charity that is helping put up the good fight against cancer. And so, yeah, we're going to be doing a charity walk in the Highlands of Scotland, near where my ancestors are from, Callander, Killing, that area, the McNabs. And, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. So, link down below for that. All right, let's pull this up. It's already up. Let's go.
Ukrainian combat engineers are laying mines, anticipating a tank attack. Drone operators have been preparing for the Russian offensive since nightfall. They are connecting explosives to FPV drones and checking the functionality of reconnaissance drones.
Classic.
Everything is ready. As soon as the sun rises, the Ukrainians launch a reconnaissance drone and spot Russian tanks moving towards Ukrainian defensive positions.
There it is.
The Russians open fire.
Oh my God. Boom.
One of the tanks decides to
Jesus
cut across
Christ.
a field, but a prepared trap is waiting for it.
Obviously, it looks like this footage is... Gee, that explosion. It looks like it's kind of like chopped footage of different things to tell the narrative. I'm sure the narrative is correct. Let's watch this again. Boom. Jesus Christ. At least it's
surprising
quick.
that they survived that.
Oh my God,
The
they
crew,
survived that? Holy shit.
in terror, flees from the tank, knowing what's coming in 30
It's not
seconds.
how you survive something like that.
The FPV drone is already in the air and approaching the target. The operator directs it straight into the open hatch to hit the ammunition.
Wow.
This formidable machine turns into a heap of scrap metal. The tank cannot be restored.
That's mental.
The second tank, seeing this, begins to retreat, but it's too late. The FPV operators have it in their sights. The electronic warfare system installed on the tank creates interference, making it difficult to accurately guide the drone to the target.
Yeah.
But it didn't help eventually. This crew
They
was
still
less
got it.
fortunate. They could
This is the thing now. We're going to get so many like professional FPV drone pilots in the military that they're going to be able to fly sometimes when they're getting jammed and all this other stuff. They're still going to be able to hit a target, especially when they're locked on. Do you know what I mean?
not get out of the tank in time. Take a look at this pile of grounded metal.
Alarm?
This is a Russian soldier's reaction after hearing that a Ukrainian FPV drone is coming for their group.
Ah, shit.
Check out his weapon. The soldiers are scrambling for cover.
We did watch a really good video with Garanthum talking about taking down FPV drones or just drones in general with different weapons, including shotguns like that. You should check that video out. It's absolutely brilliant. They talk about new ways of combating drones, and it also shows you how terrifying it is.
From the Ukrainian drones. They find some ruins to hide in, but the drone spots them. It turns out that shotguns are the best for taking down FPVs.
Good shot.
Then they just wait for the drone to self-destruct.
There it is.
This is how Russian infantry adapts to Ukrainian drone attacks. And what about their vehicles?
Oh my god, look at that. Like a little hangar.
We've all seen those weird turtle tanks. They come in all shapes and setups, from invincible bunkers with mine rollers to old tanks with jammed turrets covered in scrap metal.
Wow.
This is a Russian captured trophy turtle tank, claimed to be effective against FPV drones.
I mean, it makes sense that they're botching whatever they possibly can to stop the drones from hitting vital parts on the tank while also still being functional.
Captured by the Ukrainian armed forces. Now let's
Good
take a look at what
improvisation.
it's made from, what's inside, and what actually happened to it.
As you can see, the driver mechanic is practically blind and cannot see anything. The turret is locked. It's completely without ammunition. The tank doesn't fire. And overall, are we going to talk about firing this thing? This is a Russian T-62, which was manufactured back in the 1960s.
Jesus
Currently,
Christ.
it is without armor and without any ammunition, so it was used for transporting personnel.
Yeah, so it's basically just a shell. It's an armored shell that drives. That's it.
At the same time, the crew of this turtle tank was captured. There was no infantry in the vehicle.
Wow.
So
So
why
it
is
was pointless then. It was a pointless bit of kit, isn't it? Barely see. Jesus Christ. The ways that these Russian soldiers are having to deal with war is insane. They're just getting zero funding whatsoever.
Russia bringing old tanks out of storage and upgrading them to turtles. Russian generals understand that their current APCs don't match the combat conditions in Ukraine. The BMP-2 and BMP-3 have very light armor and can be pierced by a heavy machine gun, let alone the powerful cannon of the Bradley or an FPV drone with an anti-tank charge. The MTLBs and BTRs are even worse. Their armor is practically cardboard. Ukraine also has BMP-2s, but
Boom!
is
Look
gradually
at that!
switching to Western models. The Bradley is
Let's see that again. Go on, lad.
also has BMP-2s,
Boom!
but is gradually switching to Western models. The Bradley is a very effective vehicle. Look at this.
I think the biggest thing to come out of this is just how effective the Bradley... Two things from the Ukraine war. How effective the Bradley's been. It's just dominated. Out of nowhere. We didn't expect the Bradley to do as well as it's doing. And secondly, the drones, obviously. The obvious thing. But the Bradley is just... It's blown my mind how effective it's been in this war.
tank shot didn't penetrate it.
Now, would it be as effective against a military that's a bit more competent, that has a bit better gear? I don't know. It's just been effective against Russia because they've got shit equipment. That's what it is, really, isn't it?
And here are the results of an FPV hit. That's the footage of a Bradley that hit an anti-tank mine. All soldiers survived.
Good, good,
The
good,
same
good.
can't be said for Russian BMPs.
That
Hitting a
botched
mine
bridge.
is deadly for them. Just watch this video.
Whoa! That
As the
second explosion then would have been the ammunition going off after it.
war continued and Ukrainian FPVs dominated, the Russians started adding grills to their APCs to counter drones. This worked, but only partially. Now there's a chance some infantry will survive and the drone won't reach the main armor. Due to the lack of new well-armored APCs like the Bradley, the Russian command came up with a new strategy. They decided to restore old Soviet tanks, almost 70 years old, which were supposed to be scrapped. These tanks have no attachments, just...
Look at the state of that. If I was a soldier and I got told, look, you're going to be in one of these, I'd be like, no. Like, no, obviously not. Like, I don't know. Like, for me, it just feels like it would be so obvious that you're getting thrown aside and that you're worthless as a soldier. Like, it would be obvious. But is that because I come from, you know, this online platform where I see new technology and I see, like, maybe they're just like, yeah, this is the bee's knees. This is the best bit of kit we can get.
rusted old machines. However, their engines and tracks are in working condition. With some maintenance, these zombie tanks can start and move. Essentially, the tank becomes an armored tractor, which is then welded with metal sheets and equipped with powerful electronic warfare systems to counter FPV drones. You all saw the first use of these under Chasiv Yar, showing the success of this approach. Despite artillery shelling, they managed to break through the Ukrainian defense, drop off soldiers, and return unharmed.
So it did work then to some
As you
extent.
can see, the dynamic protection of the tank is empty. There is no ammunition, the barrel is rusted and cannot fire. The turret is locked and simply cannot move because of this stuff welded to the tank. It was used as a taxi. Its main protection was the electronic warfare system fixed to it. Now it is gone. Ukrainian engineers are studying it so they can destroy tanks even more effectively. Still,
I mean, my presumption is if it's so heavily botched and armored to prevent against FPVs hitting the top and hitting vital places, the next best thing would be to try and come under it and just take a track off so it can't move. And then you can just hammer it, can't you? That's my presumption. I mean, if I was looking at this and thinking, all right, they've done everything, it's a taxi, and they've done everything they possibly can to stop an FPV drone from smashing it, right? But if you look, there's a ledge here. It's right behind my head, so you can't. Let me move my head real quick. You see this little ledge down here, just above his elbow. If you got an FPV under that, you could take the tracks off, right? And then it's not a taxi anymore. Then it's literally just an armored shell, unable to be moved. And so then it can get more hammered if need be.
this vehicle is very interesting. This kind of turtle shell protects the personnel from possible fragments.
Better seeing it
the
there.
main thing is that it has a working electronic warfare system to prevent drones from reaching it.
Okay,
Because
so yeah, you would want to somehow disable it. That's obviously it's saying that there's some sort of electronic warfare thing there to stop drones. If you can get through that, if you can somehow bypass that, the best thing would be to hit the tracks.
If a drone does reach it, this armor doesn't really help much.
Oh,
If you
okay.
upgrade a regular tank to this turtle tank, it'll lose its primary firepower. It won't shoot, won't see anything, won't turn its turret, so it can only be used as a taxi. For this
Yeah.
turtle taxi shell, they used a lot of different old junk. Take a look. This is a door from an electrical panel. They picked metal from wherever they could find it,
Wow.
welded it, then they put a powerful electronic warfare system around the tank. The observation cameras were not installed, so all the driver mechanic could see through was a small triplex, and that's it.
But not all vehicles are made from scrap metal. Look at this tank.
Whoa.
This T-72 is moving through open fields, which are usually mined. To protect its tracks, it has a mine roller attached. It's also armored with thick metal sheets and an additional rebar grid.
Yeah, I was going to
You
say
can
that
also-
them rebarbs are obviously there to prevent drones as well. They don't provide much armor. What it does is it stops the drone from hitting the actual metal itself.
See that besides the mine roller,
Kind of similar to the way that in Afghan they would have them metal grills to stop RPGs from necessarily hitting, although that would prevent the RPGs from exploding, because if it crimped, if the RPG was coming in, it crimped into one of them metal things, it wouldn't hit the actual firing pin. Is that what you would call it? Or the means of which an RPG would actually explode.
the tank has an electromagnetic device attached. It creates a magnetic field in front of the tank, causing mines to explode 15 feet away from the tank. Look, this tank has reactive armor elements. Its gun is firing, and it's fully equipped. Also, notice how the Russians solved the visibility issue by installing cameras. In the photo, you can see an impact on one part of the cage.
There you go.
The rebars are bent, and there's a burn hole from a projectile. 40 FPVs were involved in the attack, most of which were jammed by the tank's electronic warfare system.
40.
Only 8 hit the armor, causing minor damage. The Russians repaired the vehicle, and 3 days later, it was seen in the same section of the front.
Let me tell you how the Ukrainian forces managed to capture this tank. It was stopped with a droppable munition.
Yeah, so it must have hit the tracks, like I was saying.
The projectile hit one of the track rollers. This rubber piece was knocked out. Because of it, the tank was immobilized.
There you go.
Later, it was finished.
Thing is, like, it's kind of like common sense at that point. Like, if you're a soldier and you're looking at this tank and you're like, we're really struggling to take this down, everyone automatically would be like, all right, let's just stop it. Let's stop it. That's first point, is to stop it from moving. So yeah, they would have all thought the same thing.
Off with the FPV from above. Now let's also look inside, because it's worth seeing.
What an interesting video.
This is how this turtle tank looks like. The soldiers
Wow.
possibly lived here because there are sleeping bags, their food, and their water. This is how the turret looks without armor and dynamic protection. A regular T-62 turret. The loader's hatch is closed, by the way. The commander sat here. The only new thing on this tank from the 60s was the radio, because there was a new antenna and visible wires to the radio. And of course, the electronic warfare system, which was around the tank and connected with a standard field cable from the ancient TA-57 Soviet-era field telephone.
It's proper botched and modified, isn't it? Like, the fact that they've even had to do this is just, it's kind of sad. Like, it's actually really sad, isn't it, that that's the standard that they've had to go to war. I mean, they shouldn't be invading a country in the first place. So fuck them. But still, do you know what I mean? Like,
we can see electronic warfare has become an essential part of turtle tanks. The combination of additional armor and electronic warfare systems significantly increases the vehicle's survival chances. Boxed antennas on the tank roofs are visible in footage captured by drones. The task of these systems is to jam the frequencies on which FPV drone operators communicate. In practice, the battle between electronic warfare and drones boils down to the fact that multiple drones can operate on different frequencies, making it very difficult for a tank's electronic warfare station to jam them all.
Красавчик.
Пішов ти в сраку! Авада кедавра!
The tank's power system is not designed to
the thrill some of them lads must be getting from flying them drones must be insane.
Operate such a powerful electronic warfare system that covers a wide range of frequencies.
And I say that because there's less of a risk of them being hurt because they're out the way. So the thrill must be insane.
Therefore, tanks with powerful electronic warfare systems often have generators and batteries. Here's a photo of a damaged tank showing its powerful antennas and the generator that was running while the tank was moving.
Good generator on top of it.
Electronic warfare is pretty simple. As the drone approaches, the video signal is almost completely jammed, making it difficult for the operator to accurately guide the drone. The electronic warfare systems on tanks significantly increase their survivability against the most common weapon on the battlefield, the FPV drone, by preventing it from hitting the target accurately, as it did at the beginning of the war.
That one hit. They're going to find ways to bypass it, though.
Let's talk to the driver mechanic who drove this tank here. How does this T-62 perform? Is it just an old turtle-like tank?
First of all, while moving, this tank rattles a lot, so you can't sneak up quietly where needed.
Makes sense.
Secondly, the engine is very outdated and worn out. That's why it creates a large smoke screen behind it. This is not the equipment that should be used for any operations.
No.
But still, the engine starts and idles. The tank can move. All gears work. Not perfectly, but they can be engaged. But not without great effort.
Is the driver mechanic able to see from this turtle tank?
The driver can only see forward. If you're traveling with the open hatches, there is more visibility. But in combat mode, when everything is shut and the driver uses triplexes, visibility is almost non-existent.
Perhaps they were moving in travel mode, or someone was sitting next to the driver and guiding the way.
Yes, most likely.
Because, as I understand, there was no onboard radio communication with the crew.
Yes, someone was sitting beside and guiding all actions.
Imagine being at war and seeing that thing rock up. You'd be like, what the fuck are we doing here, lads? What is going on? Or vice versa, being the lads having to drive it, putting it together and looking at it, standing back after you've put it all together and being like, for fuck's sake. I could be at home, chilling with the family, having a barbecue, eating a bit of food, exercising, the things I could be doing instead. And yet, we're going to war in this piece of shit. I honestly don't, like, I get it, right? The Royal Marines that I were a part of were known as thinking soldiers. So, like, if we get given an order, we're going to be like, what's the best way of doing this? And is this effective? And if it's not, we're going to be like, I don't know if that's a good idea. Like, we're going to talk, and that's how we become better soldiers. We bounce ideas off each other. We question things, and I get it. There's a sense of not being able to question things in the Russian military, and you have to do it. Otherwise, sometimes you can get killed, right? So it's all or nothing in a way. But still, some of these Russian lads must be looking at this and thinking, what are we doing? Like, surely this is not it. You know what I mean?
And so, this is the Russian turtle tank, which was designed to withstand drone attacks and was stopped by two kinds of drones, a drone with droppable munitions, and an FPV. Take a look at this hole made by the
Wow.
FPV hit. This blind turtle tank is now an exhibit of Russian disgrace. The turtle tank has become an obvious solution in field conditions. Yes, it may look absurd,
Jesus
but
Christ.
if this machine can save a tank from even one FPV, it deserves its place on the battlefield. While Ukrainian forces lack artillery and anti-tank missiles, they compensate with a vast number of FPV. In such cases, turtle tanks have decent chances of fulfilling their role and surviving an attack. However,
Boom.
Ukrainians have already begun developing methods to counter turtles, sometimes using multiple drones to breach the grills in the same place to reach the main armor.
Just blew it off
The main
completely.
problem for turtle tanks is the U.S. Congress.
On this vote, the A's are 311.
Republicans ended their 6-month blockade, lifted bans, and finally approved another $61 billion aid package for.
Yeah, this video's about a year old, I think, so the news has changed a lot with... I feel like the US military definitely swings left and right and changes. You could literally wake up and they would have changed their mind already. Like, there's nothing consistent anymore.
Ukraine. Ukrainian brigades are already receiving many new missiles, shells, and anti-tank weapons.
Damn.
If a turtle tank can handle a 2-pound kamikaze drone, it won't handle the Javelin, which can penetrate several levels of protection.
Yeah. Boom! Them javelins are insane, but they
Turtle
cost
tanks
so
show us
much
the
money.
role tanks will take
They cost like $250,000 a pop, or something like 300,000 a pop, or something around that price point.
in future wars. Clearly, cheap drones in one form or another will be in the arsenal of many countries.
That's why they're using drones instead of javelins all the time, because it's so much cheaper.
The best way to protect equipment from them is to use factory protection systems, both active like electronic warfare and passive like various grills.
Very interesting video. I really, really liked that because it's something that we haven't really touched on that much, is these turtle tanks and just how botched things feel in the war. But it's important. Let's get this information out there as much as possible. Thank you to Spartan for putting this video, putting it together. Fantastic video. I'll leave a link down below to the OG video. Check out Chug. Check out Morale. I'm going to go lay down and recover and try and relax a little bit. I would be streaming tonight, but I don't think I'm going to because my chest is just a little off. We'll see how I feel later on, but probably not. Other than that, I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.